Hey guys, Canadian Off-Road 4x4 here. Today we are doing another snowball modification. Today we are doing the Auxbeam switch panel system. So these are just universal 8-piece switch panels that you can get on Amazon there. They come in blue or green, and we've got the green one here. And the reason why we're doing a little install on this is because Kale wants some more switches, something a little bit easier to wire up. And also because we've watched some videos on this and we realized none of them are honestly very good. Some of them are quite confusing, some of them don't show you everything. So in our video, we are going to show you everything. We're even going to do some measuring, and we're going to show you how we install it on Snowball. And we've been spending about, what, 15 minutes? 15 minutes just going over everything to make sure everything works, and if everything's going to, be enough length for everything for the wiring and where we're going to mount it. So we're going to start off by showing you the measurements of all the products and what it comes with, and then we're going to start getting into the installation and showing you what we're going to be doing. So be ready for it. So here's everything that comes in the box. You got your power cord here that goes into your switch panel here, and it's just a single plug here. So, and to start off with, we're going to measure this little thing here, because this is one thing I could not find info on. So measure your size there, Kaylee. What we got?
About 4.5.
4.5 on the length, I guess we're gonna say. The width?
It's about 2.5.
2.5 on the width. And then the depth? Half-inch depth. So not a very big panel, honestly. Like, it's kind of surprising to me, but like, here's my hand here, and then there's the panel. So it's not very big, which is kind of nice. It's nice and low profile. To go with it, you got a variety of stickers. So you got fans, horns, grills, lights, underglow, rock lights, power fridge, winches, welders, everything there. So you got that every time you get one of these. And then to go with this, you've got two style brackets. You got an angle bracket that adjusts on its own there. So it's quite easy to use and quite easy to set up. So it's if you wanted to stick out. And then the other one there is just a generic bracket to mount it to, and it's just flat steel, nothing fancy. Then moving on to the power wire that we have that goes into it. Roughly, what do you think we're gonna say this is? So right now it's sticking outside the Jeep. Do you want to measure from here, Kale, to there? I got it. What do you? This is just rough estimate because we have the wire running through.
Let's do about 7 feet.
We're gonna say about like a 6 to 8 foot length cord, just for you guys to kind of get an idea. So it isn't a lot. We were kind of worried about this too. That's why we were kind of running this all through. But depending on your vehicle, you can probably make it work. But if you have to, honestly, what I would do is probably just cut off on this end so much feet, and then extend your wires. Just don't cut off right on the plug. Just cut off somewhere about
probably
like
about here.
Yeah, cut off like a good foot or two after your connector, and then just rewire. It looks like it's running 18 gauge. You want to say wiring?
More like close to
20. Or 20 gauge, because this is just running the power to the switch panel, so it doesn't need anything hardcore for wiring there. So there's that. Then you've got your switch assembly box, your fuse panel. So with it comes with all your fuses. Here's where you connect all your wires, and then this is where all your wires run into. And then you even got a picker there and spare fuses, which is nice. So to put that on, and it's actually, that thing weighs quite a bit too. It's like gotta be at least 5 or 6 pounds, I guess, hey? So that's well constructed. So now we're gonna measure this for you guys just to kind of get an idea of what that's like. So the width?
4 1/4.
4 1/4 on the width.
From
the mounting point to mounting point of this, 7.5.
about 7.5.
Close to 7.5.
With the box or the lid on.
And then the depth?
It's about inch and
inch and a quarter.
about that, I guess.
Yeah. Well, so over an inch of thickness. And then the same thing with this. It comes with 2 style brackets. So you got the generic flat one that just kind of, holds it together there. It's pretty basic. Then this one's a little more if you want to get fancy. It comes with 3 adjustable ends on it there, it shows. Like there's 3 holes there.
Yeah, 3 holes, depends what you can. You can mount it like this on your fender, or you can mount it like this.
So you got upside down or upright, whichever you want. So it's a very universal bracket for your liking. So that's nice. And then when it comes to the extra wiring, you've got two power wires and a ground.
Yeah.
Okay. So here we've got roughly, what is this one here? Probably like a 2 foot length of wire there. What's this one for?
This is for your fuse holder. So this will go from your box to this.
Yeah.
And this will go to your battery from here, or it can go the other way around, depends where everything's mounted.
Right.
This could be used for your battery to this, and this
Gotcha.
can be used from box to this, depends.
So whichever fits your application.
Yeah.
So, and then you got a 60 amp fuse breaker here, so pretty generic there. And then you got probably what, 3, maybe 4 foot wire. Let's see here. We're being technical here just so you guys kind of get an idea. Whoop, 3 foot.
About 2 feet 8 inches. About 32.
32 inches of negative cable. And then this one's a little bit shorter, so we're gonna probably say this one's, yeah, 2 feet.
Yeah.
So a 2 foot power wire, and then another 1.5 feet, or not even, 10 inches?
Yeah, about 10 inches.
10 inch little power wire there. So plenty of wiring, but I mean, if you don't want to use it, you don't have to. Not a big deal. I mean, it just comes pre-wired with everything there. So that's pretty much the gist of it.
It's about 8 gauge wire.
8 gauge wire. So that's plenty of it for the fuses there. Then you got the little plug-in here that goes into, this one's for the fuse panel.
Yeah, it goes inside the fuse panel.
So this is like basically your power wire.
Yeah,
to
your lights up, the LEDs on the breaker and stuff, and
yeah,
like
we'll get into this one more for sure as we play along, because we don't even know what we're getting into just yet. But I just wanted to give you guys the specs and show you what comes with it and how it is. And it comes in this little box here. It's nice big thick foam padding. Oh, and you got a bunch of zip ties too. Thank God, I was worried. But there's a generic layout of it there, if you guys can see. So there's the switch panel. All your wires run out to your lights, yada yada. Power and ground, and then one to the switch panel. And it's gonna be as easy as pie. So we're gonna dig into this a little bit more, and we'll keep you updated as we put this thing together. Okay, so we're making really good progress here. Kale's working on his battery side of it, and I'm mounting the switch panel inside the cab. And right now I'm going to show you exactly how we did that, or how I did that, I should say. It's a little dark in here, sorry about that. Kale, you want to hand me my flashlight actually, please, so I can show. It finally did something. Most of the time he does all the work and I'm just in the background. So here's the switch panel here on the driver's side of his Jeep. So it comes with the adjustable bracket or the flat bracket. We use the one that sticks out a little bit, and all we did was you take it off from the Allen keys here and then mount the plate to the panel. And then I took the plate behind and used the two self-tappers that come with it. I mean, you use whatever the hell you want. I mean, wherever you mount it is up to you, and it just goes through in the back of there. So if you want to use bolts, you can, but we just use the self-tappers. And it sits there. It actually looks really good there, so that's a plus. And then we thought we were gonna have to notch the plastic up in here, but it turns out we just kind of I fished it through the side there and then ran it around, and it's sitting on top of his speaker here. So there's the plug right there, as you can see. So, and like, I mean, for the most part, I think it looks pretty clean there. You mount it where you want. Obviously, you don't have to use the brackets. You don't have to do anything. I mean, you can use sticky tape on the back of this thing and tack it wherever you want. I mean, it's kind of your own opinion and your decision where you want. So, and then there's the connector for it. So we just got to run that up to there on the side here and plug it in. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty easy. So what we did to mount this, just an FYI, like where it's sitting, is that we took the bracket and I just held it up. It sits on top of this edge here, and then this adjusts down or up. So I mean, it's up all the way it can, and it's hitting here, so it's stopping there. But I mean, you can adjust this down, have it angled all the way down. But then when you're sitting in the driver's seat here, so you sit in the driver's seat here, so like it's actually pretty good. So you see it down there, but when you have it angled down the way it was, depending on your liking, then you see the bracket and stuff like that. So it looks a little funny, but yeah, so I mean, for where it sits here, which is nice, it's gonna work perfectly for him. So now we're gonna go see what Kale's ruining on his Jeep. And we're actually, I think, pretty close to finishing this install. I mean, like, this is the easy part here, is just figuring out where you want to mount it. But keep in mind that where you install it is your own choice, and it's going to be different for every vehicle. How are we doing over here there, Kiwi?
It's going okay.
Wow, you sound confident in installing this thing.
Yeah, I'm always confident.
So what do you got going on here?
I got a mess going on.
A mess? That's about normal as anything else for you.
Yeah.
So talk about the wires here. What do we got here? I'm looking at a bunch of guru stuff here.
You got your power, ground. This wire's for so you can hook up your switch to constant power turn on source, and the white wires for brightness.
We're gonna play with that here soon enough too. Once we start figuring that out, and then we'll kind of get you guys a rundown of how it plugs in and what you can wire it to. We'll go into depth a little bit more on that. So this one goes to the fuse breaker, and then the other one goes to your battery in between it. And seeing as that you just installed a new snorkel here, for anyone that has a Jeep, if you can see that there's a huge dip here, is because now he just installed a Rugged Ridge?
Yeah.
Rugged Ridge snorkel. So he has a lot more room here to work with, which is actually quite convenient, because I don't know exactly what we would do if we didn't have it. So right now, he's just gonna have it sitting here, but what are you gonna do afterwards?
I'm gonna have it sitting here because his wire's not long enough. I didn't bring 8 gauge with me.
Yeah, so we're gonna run it. He's gonna run an extension afterwards, later down the road. But for right now, it's just gonna work and it's gonna sit on its own.
Yeah, then I'm gonna screw it down on this platform here.
Oh, okay.
It fits down there nicely. I'll show you here.
So once he runs an extension, he probably, what do you need, like 6 inches probably of a wire?
About 6 inches.
Yeah, barely. So then he's gonna have it sitting just right there, so it's gonna look a lot cleaner for sure there.
Yeah.
That'll actually look really good once it's done there. So
yeah, then I'm just going to run this just into here for now, but then I'm gonna run it to my dual batteries. The thing's not big enough. If I hone this out big enough, I'm gonna destroy this hole because this thing's a big lug.
Oh, the prong or whatever is not big enough.
Lug here, so I'm just doing that for now.
Okay.
And I'm gonna
That's
change
it.
that out. Yeah.
Okay.
And then later on, I'm gonna move
So
on
it's basically like we always gotta keep telling you guys, it's universal, so you gotta make it work with your vehicle. Like Kale said, he has bigger nuts than most guys here, so he's got to make them work for his big nuts, or big bolts, we should say. So I mean, you know. So, and you've screwed it down already to your relay box?
Yeah, when you screw it out to your relay box, you gotta make sure you have enough room.
Yeah, so don't use ridiculously long screws, obviously.
Yeah, make sure you got enough room, make sure there's nothing gonna hit it. Yeah, just use short screws so that you...
Are those the ones that are supplied, or did you use them out of the kit?
Slide.
Okay, so they're the supplied screws that you came with.
Yeah, this kit comes with multiple different screws for, depends on how you...
Yeah, and that's another thing to address for you guys. So you got a bunch of these self-tappers and bolts and nuts, kind of like whatever you want. Like I said, it's universal, so it's gonna be whatever. You got a bunch of little ones here, and then you got some really tiny ones. These tiny ones, I think, are the ones that were supposed to be for the switch panel, which I used. But I noticed that there was like 2 different styles. Like these ones are flat, then the other ones had like a bigger head on them. So just kind of be aware. Obviously for these ones, you definitely want to use them on the back of the panel because the panel is not very big. So you don't need a really big screw, and they work well. Just tighten them up by hand and don't go crazy. Just go slowly, and then once you feel them snug up, stop. Because otherwise you will strip them out. Otherwise it's kind of pretty much easy going here. I mean, we still got lots of wire here that we have to run. He's gonna run this back more, so he's actually gonna have more wire here for himself because of where I mounted it for him, so it's gonna work out nicely there. But I mean, otherwise it's pretty easy for this install. I mean, we're going well here, but the biggest thing is we want to see how it powers up and what it lights up with and how to adjust it, and then we'll go from there. So stay tuned, and we're gonna keep chugging away on this. Okay, so we are now pretty well done this installation. We've got everything plugged in. We are now playing with the brightness, and now we're gonna just kind of update you on everything and how everything's running and show you the brightness controls and how that works. And then we're gonna probably start plugging in some lights here as a temporary usage, because we just want to see how the switches work and all that. And then I think that's pretty much gonna be it for this video, guys. So we're gonna show you the finished product, and Kale's gonna explain what he's done because I was busy for a bit. So Kale, what the heck did you do while I was gone?
Basically
everything.
Basically, these are your two wires for your lights on your pod there.
So this one's for the battery?
The red one's battery. So you can hook that constant power, switch on power, depends on if you want it on all LED on all the time or on when the vehicle turns on. The white one just you dim your 4 levels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, then this wire just goes into your switches. And these are just power and ground, however you want to run them.
All right, cool.
Your lights just go
So there's the white wire here. So this is the white wire to dim your brightness controls on your switch panel. Then the red one is for the actual color. So we don't need this actually plugged in if we don't want it for color, right?
No, you can just pick your dimness right off the bat, just tape it up and tuck it away.
Okay.
Or you can put it on a switch if you want to play around with that.
So right now it's on constant?
Yeah, it's on, constant with battery.
Well, let's show you guys what it looks like here. So you can see already here that it's quite bright. So there she is now, guys. So it's a really nice green. I'd say it's like a Hulk green. Definitely not the kind of green I was looking at before on the pictures, but pictures and videos are hard to show you the actual color. That's definitely not full brightness, I don't think.
Oh, I think it is.
Is it? Okay, go tap. So basically all you have to do for this, guys, is that it's not... You don't have to have it on a switch if you don't want to, but it's just tap the wire to your positive terminal, and that's pretty much it. So tap it there, Kale. So that's a dim there, 1. Okay, go again. There's full brightness. That's another option. Then dim again. Dim, dim, dim. And that's all the way down. Oh, that's all the way down. So there you go. Then there's basically like no lighting there. So that's as dark as it gets. So what is there, 4 or 5 there, I think?
Should be 4, but it kind of seems like 5.
I think you're just tapping the wire wrong.
Maybe.
Yeah. So you got lots of modes there, so it's kind of just pick your ones that you want, guys. I mean, we're not going to cycle through here. You just saw all of them there. But this is as dim as it gets, so you do it to your liking of what you want. I definitely do not recommend full brightness on this unless you have it underneath your legs or something, so like down here, because it is bright. Like, that's blinding bright for sure. So, yeah, that's a cool little thing there. And then, Kale, you had another feature you saw there that was nice?
Yeah, there's actually another cool feature. So these buttons just push in whatever you want.
So that's your on switch, obviously, there. And it's obviously on right now, right?
Yeah, if you had a light on, it just turns on. But if you had, like, 4 lights that you like, let's say you had 2 sets of driving.
Light bar, ditch lights, and reverse lights.
Yeah, let's just say you had those. But if you don't want them on anymore, you don't have to hit them again. You just hit this off button.
So hit the middle button to turn it off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then instead of hitting them again to turn them on, if you're going to use them again
So obviously right now it's off, right? So if you hit the button, so hit the button again.
This button? Or
yeah.
this button?
No. Yeah. So it's turning them on.
Yeah, it's turning them on.
Okay.
And then let's say you're driving around, you don't want them on anymore.
Yeah.
For that moment, you don't have to hit these again. You just hit this middle button.
Hit that again, and then turn it on again.
Then you hit this button again and it just turns
them on.
Yeah.
Oh,
without re-hitting the buttons.
Cool. So, but it looks like that you turn it off, and it just basically is a kill switch for all of them, but then it'll recycle and turn it back on for all the switches that you had currently on.
Yeah.
But if you do this, so if you turn them off individually, and then if you hit the on or off, it does nothing. So it's just basically on or off. It doesn't really matter. So
yeah, this is just on or off for those individual lights if you want to shut them off and on type thing. But if you have like 3 sets of lights that you like having on all the time, instead of just hitting this and hitting this, you just hit this button, shut them off, and then you just hit
So there's no dedicated on or off switch for this, guys. It's more or less like it's always running, but it's not running. So like as long as you don't have any of these lights on, this thing's not running other than the backlit LED, more or less. That's what I guess I'm gathering here, because I mean you could hit on or off, like, so you can have them all on the on switch here, and then if you want everything on constantly, you just off or on or whatever. Again, but then once you judging by what I can see, once you turn them off, that's it.
Yeah.
Once you turn them off or on, that's it. There's no like dedicated on or off switch
Yeah,
to
and
it.
another good feature like that, like this is universal. So once you had a rat rod or hot rod or something like that, and you have a few accessories, you like your radio and a couple things like that. Instead of always hitting these off and on, starter or whatever, you just hit this, and when you go back in your vehicle, let's say you want to go for a cruise, you just hit this and it goes on.
So so you can pretty much wire it up to whatever you guys want for this. So that's really cool there. So do you want to go tap the wires again there just to show the brightness one more time for you guys? So I'm just going to stand back a little bit here. So that's as dim as it gets. Tap the middle of the screw, Kale. It seems to work best. Okay, that's full brightness. Now pull it off and then tap it again right in the middle. So that's like level 3. Hit it again. Level 2. And then level 1. And then hit it again. And then that turns it off. So there is 5 modes. So there's 5 modes to it, Kale. So you got one that has like it basically turns off another LED, it looks like. And then it adds, because there's that brighter green. And it looks like once it's on this mode, it turns off one of the LEDs so that it just lights up the button. But it's not giving you backlighting in a way. So there's 5 modes for it. And honestly, I would probably never go past 2, depending on what you are looking to install it on. So that's real cool. So now we're going to just kind of get some lights hooked up so we can show you switches and how it works. And then that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, I think that's the whole install. I mean, it worked out really nicely here. Everything's wired up correctly. You were a little tight on that power wire from the switch panel, eh?
Yeah, from the switch panel to this, I was tight on it.
Yeah.
It depends on where you install it. You may have to link to it.
So you got to be careful with that. Make sure we started with that. So find out where you can mount it or want to mount it. Run your cable through and then see where you can make it work. I mean, you definitely got to make sure you do that first. Otherwise, you're going to waste your entire time doing everything on your battery and hooking up all your wires, and then suddenly you realize you can't connect it because it's too short. So definitely keep that in mind. So we ran it through this grommet here, and then just across here, and then he backing through. And what did you just follow the factory wiring kind of thing?
Yeah, follow the factory wiring as much as I can and bring it up and around.
Where did you want to put it before?
I was gonna bring it this way around.
Oh, so he was gonna go around the factory battery and come back around, but it's obviously a little too short there. So. But, I mean, like I said, you wire it how you want, and that's pretty much it. So now we're going to attach some lights here. I've got a LED strip. I've got some warning hazard lights, and I've got some new set of lights that I'm doing another video on. So we're going to just test all this, test the switches, and then that's pretty much it. Because he has no actual lights to hook up to this thing yet. It's great. Anymore, he said.
Because he wants me to buy a lot of lights, so I got to make room for those.
Okay, we're gonna get this set up and then we're gonna show you, and then that's gonna complete this video for you guys. Okay, we got the lights all hooked up and we just kind of were playing around with it to kind of get an understanding of how the box works and the switches and all that. So here we've got them all wired in. Offhand here, just to say right away, closest to the terminals is number 1, which starts off with a 30 amp fuse and then goes all the way to 8 down to, which is the lowest one, and number 8 has a 5 amp. And just so you remember that, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then another thing to add is you can do it just with wires and screw them down if you want, but the way to do it sounds like would be to get the special connectors of which are called furls. So we you use them on audio controls and stuff like that that goes in there into the connectors there, so it's a tighter connection. So we recommend probably doing that for these. That way that these sit into the groove a lot better, because they have like a little rectangular end on them. So then they'll bite down to the screw and then they'll be a lot more secure. The other thing would be to, what were you saying? Waterproof it or?
Tin it or solder them.
Oh, solder them. Okay, yeah. So just don't do just the wires and screw. I mean, you can if you don't have the skills or the knowledge. This will work fine, but just for future reference, maybe look at doing a little bit more solid connections. We have a 40-inch strip warning light here that's from Auxbeam as well. We got a hazard light, strobe light hooked up. And then these are the new working lights that I am testing out here and just got on my recent package order. So we're gonna show you the switches and all that and hook them all up and then show you how they all kind of look. And then that's, I think, pretty much the gist of it there. So I'm just gonna kind of set these up a little bit so you guys can see them. So there's that. This warning strip is really cool. I'm gonna show you guys that in a minute. So, and then on the panel here, it's left to right. So it's 1, 3, 5, 7, 2, 4, 6, 8 on the bottom. So you got 1, 3, 5, 7. And so when you turn on number 1, obviously there's nothing there because we didn't hook it up to, but we did, what was it, number 4? So there's number 4, which is the strobing light there. So we got that on number 4. And then we did number 5, 5. Number 5 was our work light there. So you got that. And then the number 8 was the warning strip light. So all 3 of them are hooked up. And then instead of doing that, just hit the off switch.
You said the numbers wrong, but
no, it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
You confused me. This sucker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Either way, there's 8 buttons here. Make them work. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, so we turned them off because they were all on. And so if you want to turn them all back on at once, bam, you got Christmas again. That's actually really nice. So, and then you just hit the switches off and off. So, and just lastly here, just to show you guys this warning light thing. So this is on the power wire for it, and it's a big flashing light. It's sequential and it flashes really bright. So just thought I'd show you guys that there. That thing's really cool. I love that thing. That's going on my truck, by the way. It's going on my truck. Yep, I'm happy about it. So then you turn it off. And that's it. Then they're pretty much off. I mean, there's nothing to it. And then if you hit the on or off switch, doesn't matter. There's no on or off because they're not on or they're off. So other than that pretty face, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Besides this box has little LED lights in here that indicate if the fuse is blowing.
Why didn't you say that to me at the beginning? I forgot all about that. Holy shit. So right there. That little thing right there, you guys, okay? That thing tells you that you done screwed up and you got to replace your fuses. So that's good to know, especially, but then again, the fuses, you'll be able to tell which ones are blown. And then obviously you got your spares and you got your little nitpicker there too. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess this panel's all installed on his Jeep, except he has no use for it. Yeah. We literally installed this just for fun. So now he's got to figure out a way to use it.
Yeah, I've been telling you to get me lights in, but you won't get me damage.
We gotta buy him some more lights, even though he's got lights here.
Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna put a pair of the light in here, those 2 square yellow ones here, done.
That'll look pretty good.
I did order one in, but I canceled order because it said it's supposed to be here like Tuesday, and it's gonna be here like end of this month.
Fair enough. So yeah, there you guys go. That is the installation and the walkthrough of Auxbeams Universal Switch Assembly Panel Thingamajigger, whichever you want. And it is snowing outside. It's April, damn it! What is this?
Welcome to Saskatchewan.
Welcome to Canada.
We get in Saskatchewan, we get snow anytime the month except August.
August, yeah. We're in our igloos right now, so it's great. But it's actually quite warm in here. It's 60 degrees in here, so it's like summer in here for us. But yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Let me know if there's any more questions. We'll try and help you out as much as we can. I hoped we answered everything for you guys on this. I mean, it helped us learn a lot and understand this thing because we watched, like I said, 2 other videos of people installing this. One guy did pretty good with his Hummer there. He's all over the Auxbeam there. But there was another guy that did it for his farm vehicle. I'm sorry if he watches this and sees me, but you done confused us when we were trying to figure it all out. So
I watched with the Jeep too, and it was confusing.
Yeah, it's just we wanted to get more in depth with it, and I think it's pretty much covered on everything. But if something's missed, or if you got a question on something, let us know. We'll try and help you out as much as we can. This is definitely staying in his Jeep, and then I'm gonna order one for my Taco, and it's gonna be the blue one. And then we'll do a whole install on that because I don't know where I'm installing that one yet either. So
yeah, it's good to install another one and do another video on a Taco.
Yeah, so we're gonna get out of here and finish cleaning up because he left a mess for me. And then we're gonna be doing another video here shortly with these new work lights here. These ones are brand new, they're just on the market, and you're gonna see some really cool shots with that soon. So stay tuned for that one next.